Amelia, what would you do if you won the lottery?
Buy a phone and Bitcoin.
Buy a phone and Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Why would you buy Bitcoin?
I don't know. That's what you do.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Dad. So what would you do with more money than that? What would you do after you get more money than that?
Buy a car.
Buy a car?
Hopefully get a license when I'm 16.
Get a license when you're 16. All right, let's see what they say about winning the lottery.
36,
36,
18,
18.
and finally 22.
Look at this man. He looks happier than you've been in weeks.
He looks really happy.
All of his dreams are about to come true because he was brave and took a fair shot at the American dream by playing the lottery. Makes you think, huh?
Is playing the lottery a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Well, you have like a really low chance of winning.
Is it really low? How low?
It's pretty low. Cause there's like 5 digits per circle. Is that how it works? So there's about 10 numbers. So that's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So that's
Very low chance of winning.
That's 100. That's 1 in 100,000 chance.
This could be you. Though statistically speaking, it won't be. Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm here to tell you about my Power Sphere Lottery, an exciting way to potentially win lots of money by spending what seems like a small amount that will in fact grow quite dramatically over time. But you're not thinking about what playing the lottery for 20 years costs, right? You're thinking about how spending 5 today could make you 10 million tomorrow.
Is that what you're thinking about? Are you thinking about how much it costs to play the lottery, or are you thinking about how much you can win?
If you just spend $5 out and you lose, you're like, I'm gonna try again, and you're just gonna keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and then eventually you'll lose a lot of money because you kept trying with a low chance of winning.
Got it.
Yes! Please keep thinking that. It seems simple. All you have to do is pick a couple of random numbers, the birthdays of your loved ones perhaps, or maybe just your favorites, and tell them to a sad convenience store employee. 696969. That's it. That's the game. You just played a game. But if it seems too hard, just take your paycheck and plot it into a nearby shredder. It has about the same effect. Well, we'd like you to believe that the only thing preventing you from becoming a billionaire and following your dreams is owning this scrap of paper. In reality, you're 5,000 times more likely to get hit by lightning and 8,000 times more likely to be murdered. Neat, huh?
I don't know, is it neat to find out I'm more likely to be murdered than win lots of money?
Fun question.
Does that sound right? Did you know that?
No.
You're more likely to get murdered than to win the lottery?
No, I did not know that.
Anyway, we like to say that we're selling you the American dream because that tested better in focus groups than calling it a tax on the poor, which essentially it is. You see, we actively target lower income households who have no other way to climb out of poverty.
That's just mean.
So you think it's taxing the poor is mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I always learned that as taxing the people that are bad at math. Right? We talk about it's a very low probability chance of winning. When people try to win, they play the money, they play the lottery, but really, they're just really bad at math. That's the way I learned it. So it's a very different perspective.
We carefully choose what types of programming we advertise on and place higher concentrations of ticket vendors
That guy looks a
in
lot
lower
sadder than earlier.
economics neighborhoods. That's why the average low-income household spends almost 9% of their savings on these beautiful slips of paper.
No, I'm not poor. This is just, I only play sometimes. You know, it's a fun distraction. And 2 weeks ago, I was only one number off, so I got pretty close.
9% of their money, so 1 out of every $10 they make going to the lottery. Is that a good idea?
No.
Because that's how probability works, right?
Hey, for the purposes of my industry, probability works however you think it does.
Yeah.
Attaboy. Let's say you win. I mean, you won't if you play our popular Power Sphere lottery game. The odds are 185 million to 1 that you'll win. So we might as well.
A little bit more than 100,000 you said earlier.
I did my math wrong.
Well, just call it impossible. But let's not, for argument's sake. Because even if you are that lucky person, you can look forward to a life of regret and isolation. 33% of lottery winners eventually file for bankruptcy, and 50% feel absolutely no change in their overall happiness. The very thing the lottery promises to give you.
1 in 3 go broke. They file bankruptcy. How can that be?
Well, I don't know how that happened, but I think something a part of that is that the government tax you from what you win in the lottery.
Government taxes you.
Yeah.
So I think last week someone won $1.9 billion. After government, they still got $1 billion.
Because people was like, oh, I have this money now. I can spend all the things I ever wanted. But they buy more things than they could afford. So then they have to file for bankruptcy.
Yeah. What about the part? It said 50% of people don't change their emotions. So do you think that people that are, after they win the lottery, that a year later they're not any happier? Like they said, half the people don't get any happier.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get so happy after winning all this money, but you want all that money, you don't feel any happier.
Why? Why don't they feel any happier?
When they first won, they probably like, oh my goodness, I won the lottery. I have this much money now. But later on, they don't care about the money.
Right.
They just, it's temporary happiness.
Wait, no. In case we haven't already mentioned it multiple times during the commercial, we'll tell you that the current jackpot is over $140 million. That's a nice number you'll never see, because when you win, you have the option of either taking the lump sum payment, which is actually worth about half of that $140 million, minus whatever the government wants, or the long-term payment option, which we pay out over 20 or 30 years, minus again whatever the government wants out of it. I don't think I remember how we came up with those options.
So you understand that? You have
Yeah.
to give half to the government. And if you want it today, you have to take even half of that. So $1 billion, 500 million to the government.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, 250 million. But that's still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, but what they promise you, it's never gonna be that much.
Yeah.
I just know they keep most of the money in our pockets.
That sounds a lot like gambling.
Bingo Bango! Which is a scratchy lottery game I think you'd just love. He's right, though. It's like gambling, but worse. We take away all of the skill of blackjack or poker just to make sure we have the best chance at getting your Benjamins. And not only is it just as addictive, but literally the only reason it stays legal is because the government is the profiteer of your hopeless dreams.
So if is the government doing it, is it wrong or right?
I think it's wrong.
You think it's wrong? But it's the government.
Yeah, it is the government, but they take away half your money and then you only get half of that.
So do you think the government should stop doing it?
Yes and no at the same time.
So the government's taking the money, right, from all the poor people, and they're using it
Yeah.
to build infrastructure or whatever, to pay for schools,
Yeah.
pay for roads.
Mhm.
Does that change your opinion?
That's why I was like half yes, half no, because the government is who pays the teachers, construction workers. So that's why they have taxes, because who else is going to pay them?
Right.
They're also taking money away from people. I mean, they already do that, but they're taking money away from people by making them addicted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not fun either.
They're taking money from the people that need it the most, and that's not good. All right. So are we gonna play the lottery?
No.
Okay. So Grandpa always sends me text messages when the numbers are really big. And I tell him, Dad, you're just really bad at math and you're rooting the stereotype. Is he wrong? Or am I right or is he right?
So he's buying tickets
Buying lottery tickets.
for a large amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
and he sends them to you.
He's texting me, am I interested in joining him?
Are you doing
No, my answer is always no.
it? Okay.
All right, so that's it. So I guess our feelings on the lottery is not a good thing.
Nope.
All right, cool. So let me know what you guys think. Post in the comments. Should she play the lottery the moment she turns 18?